By Tuesday morning, Susan already feels behind. She cleaned all weekend. She wiped the counters, folded the laundry, and promised herself this week will be different. But now the mail is back. The cups are back. The shoes are waiting by the door. And before she has taken her first sip of coffee, her home is already asking her to do more. But what if the answer is not cleaning harder? What if the real secret is stopping the mess before it spreads? Across the world, in a small Kyoto apartment, Keiko begins her morning differently. She opens the curtains, pours hot water into a teapot, and pauses before walking to the market. Her home is not empty. There are books, dishes, and a blanket on the sofa, but nothing seems to ask for her attention all at once. Keiko has not found a magic cleaning trick. She has built small moments of return into her day. This is not how every Japanese home works. It is simply one gentle idea we can borrow. Now let's follow her day. The power of a landing place. Later that morning, Keiko returns from the market with a small canvas bag in her hand. Before she walks fully into her apartment, she pauses at the door. She slips off her shoes and places them in the same shallow tray beside the entrance. Her keys go into a small wooden dish. Her market bag hangs on a hook. And one letter she picked up from the mailbox goes into a slim folder near the door. Then she walks into the kitchen with empty hands. It is a small moment, but it changes what happens next. The shoes do not travel into the hallway. The bag does not land on the dining table. The keys do not disappear under a stack of papers. And the mail does not begin another pile on the kitchen counter. Keiko is not trying to organize her whole life at the door. She is simply giving the outside world a place to stop. You can borrow this idea without changing your entire entryway. Start with only 4 things. Have one place for shoes and one place for bags or jackets. Keep one small dish for keys and one folder for important mail. Do not sort the bills yet. Do not answer the mail. Do not start another task. Just let those things land where they belong. A peaceful home often begins before you even enter the living room. Clearing just one surface. A few minutes later, Keiko has put away the groceries and filled her kettle with water. Before she makes tea, she looks at one small section of the kitchen counter. There is a paper receipt, a pair of scissors, and a few things that do not belong there. She does not begin opening drawers. She does not decide to reorganize the whole kitchen. She simply returns the scissors. She places a receipt where it belongs and clears that small space. When the water begins to steam, the counter holds only 3 things. It holds a kettle and a small vase with seasonal flowers. It also holds a bowl of fruit. That is enough. Keiko's kitchen is not empty. It is not styled like a magazine. This one clear surface gives her a place to make tea and set down a plate. It lets her eyes rest for a moment. For Susan, the kitchen counter has become a place where everything waits. Vitamins, mail, cups, grocery bags, small decisions she has not made yet. The problem is not that Susan has failed to keep a clean home. The problem is that every object is asking for her attention at the same time. Try choosing just one surface in your home. It could be part of the kitchen counter or the coffee table. It could also be the dining table or your bedside table. Keep only 3 intentional things there. Keep one useful thing. Have one meaningful or beautiful thing. And add one thing that can change during the day. One clear surface can change the feeling of an entire room, creating an easy system. By early afternoon, Keiko is sitting near the window with a book and a cup of tea. When she finishes reading, she does not leave everything where it is. The book goes back onto the shelf. Her glasses return to a small tray beside the sofa. The blanket is folded once and placed in its basket, and the remote goes back beside the couch. None of these actions take more than a few seconds. But Keiko has made each one easy enough to repeat without thinking. Most clutter is not random. It is usually made of ordinary things that have lost their way home. A sweater lands on a chair. The remote disappears under a cushion. Reading glasses move from room to room. A phone charger stays on the counter because there is nowhere else nearby for it to go. Susan's chair is not covered with clothes because she does not care. It is covered because she lacks a simple place for worn clothes. They are not clean enough for the closet, but not dirty enough for the laundry. The goal is not to create the perfect system. The goal is to create the easiest system. A remote can live in one basket beside the couch. Glasses can live in one small tray. Blankets can have one folding place. And worn clothes can have one hook or one basket near the chair. When an object has an easy way home, it stops becoming part of tomorrow's mess. Putting something away should take less effort than leaving it out. The decide later box. Later that afternoon, Keiko opens a cabinet to look for a tea cloth. Inside, she notices a few things she no longer uses. She sees 2 extra mugs and an old plastic container. There's a stack of magazines left unopened for years. She does not pull everything out. She does not turn the afternoon into a big decluttering project. She simply notices one item that no longer helps her daily life. Keiko places it in a small box labeled, "Decide later." That is all. Every object in a home asks for something. It needs a place to live. It needs to be cleaned, moved, stored, or remembered. We often keep too many things that no longer serve us. When this happens, even a quiet room begins to feel heavy. Keiko uses 3 gentle questions before she decides what to keep. Do I use this in my life now? Does it make daily life easier? Can I care for it properly where it is? If the answer is no to all 3, she does not force herself to throw it away immediately. She gives herself time. For Susan, this matters. She has a drawer filled with old batteries, receipts, and takeout menus. It holds things she may need someday. Every time she opens it, she feels overwhelmed. She believes she has to solve everything at once. But she does not. You do not need to clear your whole past today. Choose just one visible item that feels more like responsibility than support. Ask the 3 questions. And if you are not ready to decide, place in one small box and return to your day. Sometimes, making space begins with giving yourself permission not to rush. The 10-minute evening reset. That evening, after dinner, Keiko turns on the small lamp above her kitchen counter. She sets a timer for 10 minutes. She is not beginning a cleaning session. She is closing the day. For the first 2 minutes, she resets the entryway. Shoes return to the tray. Her bag goes onto the hook. Her keys rest in the wooden dish. For the next 3 minutes, she returns to the kitchen. She puts away the remaining food and throws out a wrapper. She clears one section of the counter. She makes sure the sink is manageable for morning. Then she spends 2 minutes in the living room. She returns a few visible things, folds a blanket, and clears the coffee table. There are still things in Keiko's home that need attention, but they do not all need attention tonight. Anything that requires a decision goes into one tomorrow basket. This includes a bill, a return, or a small repair. During the final minute, Keiko does one small kindness. She does it for the person she will be in the morning. Tonight, she sets out her teacup and places her vitamins beside it. Susan tries the same rhythm in her own home. At first, she wants to keep going. She sees the laundry. She notices a drawer that needs sorting. She thinks about the closet upstairs. But the timer ends, so she stops. That is the part most people miss. A reset is not meant to finish the house. It is meant to make tomorrow feel less heavy. Do not finish the house. Finish the day. When cleaning becomes a small act of care for tomorrow, it no longer feels like punishment. 3 small ideas for tonight. Tonight, do not try to change your whole home. Do not buy new storage bins. Do not empty every drawer. And do not expect yourself to follow every part of Keiko's day. Instead, borrow only 3 small ideas. First, create one landing place near your door. It can be a tray, a hook, a small bowl, or a simple folder. The goal is not to make your entryway look perfect. It is to give the things you carry home a place to land before they spread through the house. Second, choose one surface your eyes see every day. Maybe it is one section of the kitchen counter. Maybe it is the coffee table. Maybe it is your bedside table. Protect that space for 1 week. Let it become one quiet place in your home that does not ask anything from you. Third, set a timer for 10 minutes tonight. Do only enough to clear the entryway and one kitchen surface. Make one living room area easier to return to tomorrow. When the timer ends, stop. Even if you notice more to do, even if the house is not finished, especially then, because this is not another chore list. It is a small rhythm you can still keep on a tired day. A calm home is not built by one perfect weekend. It is built when small actions become easy enough to repeat. Tonight, you are not trying to create Keiko's home. You are creating one small moment of relief inside your own. The next morning, Susan walks into the kitchen holding the same blue coffee mug. The laundry is still waiting. There are still a few papers in the tomorrow basket. And the house is not suddenly perfect. But one section of the counter is clear. Her keys are exactly where she expected them to be. The shoes are no longer waiting in the hallway. For the first time in a while, Susan sets down her coffee without moving a pile first. She stands there for a moment and notices something small. Her home feels quieter. Not because every task is finished, but because fewer things are asking for her attention at once. That is what Keiko's habits gave her. Not a perfect home, not a new personality, just a gentler beginning to an ordinary morning. Sometimes peace begins with something very simple, a clear place to set down your cup